Reasons mainly being presentation of wrong identity, which also is linked to adequacy in terms of voter education. So presentation of wrong identity documents was also a sign that there was a challenge with the voter education exercise that was carried out both by the Commission and CSOs, alluding to what my colleagues here have said before. So there are challenges of adequacy of information. I was an observer myself in Dumisani constituency, where I saw a young man being turned away for presenting a slip instead of their ID. So, which really then speaks also to the issues of the accuracy of the information that is presented. Then also, the other thing that we observed is that, as Mr. DeWitt has said, that there were quite a number of people who were turned away for appearing or presenting themselves at the wrong polling station. There were so many redirections. Also, that is a sign of issues of accuracy and adequacy of voter information or voter education initiatives conducted by the ZEC and other CSOs. So, and also there was also confusion in terms of the polling process itself, which would maybe speak into voter education for polling, which is very necessary, and there was a significant sign really that it was lacking, because as my brother said, that observers were taking pictures within a polling station. That's a sign of limited voter education and also limited training on the part of observers and also the Commission. Sorry. So there are also issues of people who were then turned away because of COVID-19 protocols, not who were turned away necessarily, but people who chose not to, or who chose to abscond when they were then requested to present personal details for the COVID-19 in line with COVID-19 protocols. So it's also a sign that maybe during the process of voter education, both by the Commission and CSOs, there could have been an omission in terms of that, in terms of whether it's going to be there. There are going to be COVID-19 protocols followed, and there are going to be names and other things required. But overall, the inconsistency and the absence of uniformity in the way in which the polling process is done, the polling station is handled, also shows that there is limited education and also training of election officials themselves, because at times they were then expected to correct anomalies. For instance, if an observer is taking pictures, if an election agent, a party agent is taking pictures, what is expected is that the presiding officer will then take charge and act accordingly. So the absence of such then also reveals that there is also a capacity gap that exists between maybe CSOs and also the Commission itself in terms of the manpower deployed to man elections and polling stations. I think in a nutshell, really, this is what I have and have noted. Gaps are around adequacy. There is insufficient knowledge on electoral processes, as evidenced by what transpired during the polling or the polling day. And also there are also issues of bias that we then see. The other striking issue that has been the talk of the day is the low turnout as compared to harmonized elections. I think also it's an issue of maybe overemphasis on the harmonized and limited emphasis on other electoral processes. But maybe as recommendations, seeing that we are in a quandary, maybe the first recommendation that as ZESN would put across is that voter education needs to be linked to the secrets of the ballot and other misinformation to the secrets of the ballot in order to counter misinformation by other electoral stakeholders. There's a lot of misinformation really that is going out. So to enhance the effectiveness of voter education on electoral processes, there needs to be that link with the secrets of the ballot. Then maybe secondly, as a recommendation, to inculcate a culture of citizen participation in electoral processes, there is need for voter education to be provided on a continuous basis Maybe that can be done through expansion, reaching out to institutions of higher learning and even secondary schools. I think that will really go a long way. I'm reminded of the gentleman who brought a slip to the polling station. He was very, very youthful, I must say maybe below 25. And it was a bit disturbing really to see a youthful potential voter bringing in the wrong document. So maybe to inculcate that culture of citizen participation, also linking it with the absence of people born after the year 2000, as Mr. Tiviti has said, maybe it would be good to target them in their relevant institutions of higher learning or secondary schools with voter education, such that it's embedded on the curriculum and it also becomes a continuous process, not as and when we are approaching electoral activity. Maybe the last recommendation with that, voter education should deliberately emphasize the importance of other elections apart from the presidential election. Maybe this also is linked to the low turnout, which I believe ZEC has said it was 35% in terms of the total number of registered voters. Only 35% cast their ballot. I think this is from their side. And also, I think for Dumisani constituency, the number of people who turned out this time around were 3 times less compared to the ones who turned out to vote in 2018 harmonized elections. So I think voter education really has to deliberately emphasize the importance of other elections apart from the presidential election, in particular local governance elections. I remember the director for site he alluding to what he said the other day, that it's interesting to find that only 800 people voted for a local authority representative. And when you look at the size and the population of wards, it far supersedes that number. So that maybe has to do with the absence of deliberate emphasis on the importance of local governance elections. So these are my submissions, Madam Facilitator. In terms of the gap, I believe that it's issues of adequacy, issues of accuracy of information, and issues of bias.